Hi, I'm a Sand Recap, and this is a movie to get. Raya and the Last Dragon. A warrior by the name of Raya is determined to locate the last dragon in the realm known as Kumandra, a reimagined Earth inhabited by an ancient civilization.
She brought some friends.
The film opens as Raya is riding her Goliath pet Tuk through a desert no man's land. Through narration, she explains that the land was known as Kumandra 500 years ago, when it was prosperous and flourishing. Even among the people, there were dragons with magical abilities. Soon, evil spirits known as the Drone appeared, turning people to stone and becoming more powerful with each person they eat. The dragons made the dragon gem with their magic and gave it to their young brother 𝐒𝐲𝐧𝐸𝐬. 𝐒𝐲𝐬 used the gem to defeat the Drone and keep them away. But the other dragons turned to stone and didn't come back when the humans did. The quest for the gem's power caused the people of Kumandra to split into 5 distinct clans: Tail, Talon, Fawn, Spine, and Heart. A young Raya enters the temple where the Heart clan keeps the dragon gem with 𝐒𝐶𝐶. Centuries later, Raya confronts an adversary who is protecting the gem after she has cleared the booby traps. She engages in brief argument with him before it becomes clear that he is her father, Chief Benja, the Heart clan's leader. Benja organizes a feast to bring the other clans together and possibly bring Kumandra back to its former glory. Raya approaches Namaari, the daughter of Chief Varana of the Fawn clan. When the other 4 clans arrive, the girls appear to become friends just as the clans gather for the feast. Raya and Namaari express their reverence over the mythical serpents, with Namaari giving Raya with a jewelry of 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬. After that, Raya brings Namaari to show her where they keep the dragon gem. However, Namaari had planned to use Raya to get close to the gem so Fawn could get it. So this was always her plan. Despite Benja's efforts to calm them, the other clans storm into the temple and begin to fight for the gem until it is dropped and broken. As a result, the Drone return and begin attacking, crushing individuals. He observes that water repels the Drone as Raya and Benja flee. As they run, clan members pick up pieces of the gem, with Benja taking one and giving it to Raya. Benja gives her the gem piece and orders her to get to safety, knowing that the Drone are getting closer. Just before he turns to stone, he throws her off the bridge and into the river. Raya and 𝐒𝐶𝐶 make their way into the Tail Land 6 years later. She has been unsuccessfully looking for the other gem pieces for the past few years. Raya and 𝐒𝐶𝐶 come across a ship that is sunk and a water trail leads into it. Raya comes in and begs 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 to come back and help her with a tearful cry. Before it brings 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 back, the water around her begins to float, until Raya explains that she has been asleep for 500 years, that her siblings have died, and that the dragon gem is broken. The dragon is unaware, because it was her siblings who made the gem and only trusted her to use it. 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 is dismayed because she is unsure of how to fix the situation. Raya provides 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 with her piece of the pearl, which makes her sparkle, which is the enchantment of her sister Amba. Because they are aware that Raya is looking for the gem pieces, the Fawn warriors, led by Namaari, begin to move through the land outside. 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 travels with Raya and 𝐒𝐶𝐶 to a cave where the Tail Chieftain kept her piece of the gem. The cavern is booby-caught, and they track down the skeleton of the chiefess as yet holding her piece subsequent to succumbing to her snares. With 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬's help, Raya crosses the gap. When they get the piece, 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 becomes human, a power held by her shapeshifting sister Praini. Soon after, Namaari and the Fawn warriors appear. Raya still resents Namaari for her betrayal, and she uses her cleverness to set a trap to keep the Fawn clan under her control while she and 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 and 𝐒𝐶𝐶 make their escape. The teeth pursue the legends on their feline animals, yet Raya figures out how to lose them when they hit the water. They enter a boat led by Baun, a 10-year-old boy, who provides them with food and a ride in exchange for money. Raya gives him some jades so that he can get away from the Fawn family. But 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 jumps in the water to turn back into a dragon and help the boat swim away from the fangs. However, Raya requests that 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 retain her human form until they locate all of the gem's pieces. Baun guides Raya, 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬, and 𝐶𝐶 as the night progressed, cruising across the waterway that wards the Drone off. The Drone have destroyed Baun's family, leaving him to fend for himself. According to 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬, the Drone are the antithesis of dragons and were created out of human discord. 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 thinks they can make an appeal to 𝐷𝐸𝐻𝐼 with a gift, while Raya goes off with 𝐒𝐶𝐶 to find the gem piece herself. They make their way into the Talon land, where they hope to find it. Raya sees 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬, a young child, all by herself. It's just a trap set by 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 and 3 𝐴NGEs, monkey-like creatures, to steal from her. They run until they reach a wall, at which point they are forced to return the gem pieces to Raya. Raya asks Raya and the 𝐴NGEs for assistance in obtaining the item when she realizes 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 does not have a family. 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬, on the other hand, hears Baun talk about using credit to buy things, so she goes off and swipes everything she can with the promise of credit. 𝐷𝐸𝐻𝐼, an elderly woman, seizes her from the crowd of merchants. Raya enters 𝐷𝐸𝐻𝐼's palace after 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 and the 𝐴NGEs distract the guards. She meets a man she thinks is as 𝐒𝐚𝐽, but the man reveals that the Drune have turned 𝐒𝐚𝐽 to stone and that 𝐒𝐚 who is the new chieftain. She takes 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 to a portion of the land where the Drune are waiting, and if she doesn't tell her where the other pieces are, she threatens her. After fending off the Drune, Raya, realizing that 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 was in trouble, finds her and takes 𝐒𝐚𝐽's piece. This gives 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 the ability to produce fog thanks to her brother 𝐵𝐴𝐽 and allows them to escape. On Bao's boat, the heroes are joined by 𝐼 and the 𝐼𝐴𝐽𝐬. To report to Varana, 𝐼𝐼 and her fellow warriors return to 𝐒𝐚. Before she receives the subsequent piece, she intends to attempt to ambush Raya in Spineland. Varana, on the other hand, believes that 𝐼𝐼 would only be acting on instinct and emotion, and that they do not need to do anything more to help 𝐒𝐚 because they have already done enough to keep it thriving and the Drune away. Raya tells 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 on their way to Spine that she believes her father's vision of a united Kumandra fell apart because he trusted the wrong people, because her siblings trusted her more than any other dragon to defend the world from the Drune. 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 believes that trust is the only way to restore order. When they get to Spine, they pass a village. 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 and Raya are captured when she tries to confront the leader in the hope that he will trust her kindness. 𝐼𝐼, a Spine warrior and the village's sole survivor after the Drune attacked, greets them. Before getting 𝐼𝐼's gem piece, 𝐒𝐞𝐧𝐫𝐞 and the 𝐼𝐼 and the 𝐼𝐴𝐽𝐬𝐬. They tie 𝐼𝐼 up. Soon, 𝐼𝐼 and her warriors will be at the gates of the village. She lets 𝐼𝐼 go after realizing that he is alone and has lost as much as the others have, and she tries to find a way to stop 𝐼𝐼 while the others flee. Raya confronts 𝐼𝐼 and engages in combat with her. However, as Raya begins to lose, 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 emerges and reveals her dragon form to everyone. 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 uses her fog powers to transport Raya and the others to safety while 𝐼𝐼 is stunned. Raya is forced to reveal the mission to use 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬's assistance to defeat the Drune and bring everyone back to life to the others, who are now joined by 𝐒𝐼. The other people agree to join the search for their loved one's release. The group approaches 𝐒𝐚 and attempts to devise an effective strategy for obtaining the gem piece. Raya still refuses to trust 𝐼𝐼, despite 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬's willingness to give up her desire to befriend her. They come across the statues of 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬's siblings as they travel through Heart, and she tells how her oldest brother Pengu convinced her to use the gem. 𝐵𝐴𝐽𝐬's stone body is also discovered. Raya decides to follow 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬's advice and try to join forces with 𝐼𝐼. Raya arranges a meeting with 𝐼𝐼 and presents her with the dragon pendant she gave her as a child to symbolize peace. 𝐼𝐼 presents her gem piece, but 𝐼𝐼 threatens them with a crossbow and demands that 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 and the recovered pieces return to 𝐒𝐚 with her. After 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 emerges and they demonstrate the other pieces, 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 comes up to her and tells 𝐼𝐼 that she has faith in her to act in the right way. Raya tries to disarm 𝐼𝐼 with her sword, but it backfires and 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 is accidentally hit with an arrow that appears to kill her. The land's water evaporates, and the Drune are suddenly held back by nothing. 𝐼𝐼 rushes back to 𝐒𝐚 as chaos erupts, only to discover that Varana has already been turned into stone. Raya follows her, enraged and resentful. They fight once more despite the fact that everything around them is falling apart. When Raya has 𝐼𝐼 at her mercy, she accepts her fate, but Raya can't bring herself to kill 𝐼𝐼. The other people try to get the pieces to Raya, but they all end up in a hole. The Drune are getting closer and closer as the gem's magic wears off. Raya then recalls 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬's words and realizes that trust is the only way to stop this. She decides that 𝐼𝐼 must bring the pieces back together. She is turned to stone after Raya gives her the heart's piece. Before standing next to Raya and becoming terrified, 𝐴𝐚 follows her lead and gives 𝐼𝐼 his portion. Together with their friends and the 𝐼𝐴𝐽𝐬𝐬, 𝐒𝐚 and 𝐼𝐼 give their pieces as well. 𝐼𝐼 assembles the pieces and stands with them, also in the form of stone. Nothing seems to be happening for a while before a flash of light appears and spreads across the land, destroying the Drune. The wizardry from the jewel resuscitates the people as well as the mythical serpents also. They also use their water-based powers to bring 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 back to life. She is happy to see her kin once more. Raya and her friends flee to find 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬, and they now acknowledge 𝐼𝐼 as an ally. The heroes are reunited with their families when they return to their homelands. When Raya returns to Heart and discovers that 𝐵𝐴𝐽𝐬𝐬 is still alive, he is overjoyed to see his daughter mature into the hero he had predicted she would be. 𝐵𝐴𝐽𝐬𝐬 is astonished when Raya introduces him to 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬, who details all of Raya's accomplishments. She then shows the other clan members who are coming, ready to unite once more and become Kumandra. After that, 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 reunites with her siblings as they take to the sky.